Okay, again, I just started today, February 15th, in China, which we're 12 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. If you started watching my videos on YouTube and are like, well, what the fuck is this? Go to my Facebook and go back 12 years ago and start reading. And, depending on how many hours a day or how fast they can binge read content for 10 years, and then you can watch videos for that took me the next 2 years to complete. Maybe you complete it in several days, depending on how much time you have off, or maybe it takes you several months. I don't know. But, you know, this things play out. Things play out in my lifetime the way they need to, and today's the day. So if you're not familiar with, if you haven't read and looked at everything on my Facebook, these videos aren't going to make some sense to you. Who is this guy? Well, who the fuck are you? I don't care. Some random asshole looking at my Facebook, maybe. Why should I care? I don't fucking care. I'm married. I'm living in China. I'm set for life. You ever watch that movie? You know that movie, The Gambler? You got Mark Wahlberg, and then you have that guy that lends him money. That old dude, famous actor, real heavy set dude. He's talking about fuck you money. I don't need to make money off my videos. I'm retired from the military. I'm 100% disabled. Technically, I'm 70% Navy retired disabled. I'm a registered wounded warrior. I'm a permanent member of the American Legion. You know what the fuck that is? And I ain't paying a membership so I can go in there and drink for free. You don't even know what the fuck that is. That's what another thing significant about me, and the reason why you should acknowledge me, especially if you know family or friend, or you've been reading my Facebook for a fucking decade and thought that I was crazy. There's not a goddamn thing any of the politicians can do to fuck with me. They can't shut me up. They can't take away my money because I'm crazy. No, I was officially retired, medically retired from the Navy for being bipolar. Not because I am, because, whether you believe it or not, pharmaceutical industry is exactly what Tom Cruise says it is. It's a pseudoscience. Most of these drugs, what does salt do? It retains water. Most of these drugs for pharmaceuticals are derivatives of salt, which means in a laboratory they're chemically manipulated to remove a hydrogen or an oxygen off of salt. Okay, and they develop these drugs, so they bypass the blood-brain barrier and they go in your brain. And so if you develop drugs that go inside of people's brains that are derivatives of salt and cause problems with cells in your brain to be able to take on water or release water, you control someone's brain. So psychiatry, if you look at the history, it was an offshoot of psychology. These guys wanted to be taken seriously, so they weren't made fun of anymore for their patients and sitting on a couch and talking to someone. Talk therapy is legitimate. Every psychologist I've ever talked to in my life, very intelligent people, they will talk you through your problems. Well, a branch of them or whoever was in that industry at the time 100 years ago that got that weren't adults, weren't mature, and got made fun of and didn't have any confidence. They got into developing drugs. Specifically, a big region of those drug development is in manipulating salt, and most of the pharmaceuticals for antipsychotics, for bipolar, schizophrenia, psychotropic medications. Most of those are derivatives of salt. Well, the Dead Sea, close to Jerusalem, below sea level. I've swam there, reached down, right where you're swimming. Get up to waist high in the water, right where you're swimming, and pick up this big fucking brick of salt. They've known about this stuff for a long time. Salt, too much salt in the wintertime. If you ever lived in a cold area, you get a bunch of salt in your skin, it fucks you up. There's caves close to Jerusalem, just completely made out of salt. They figured this stuff out a long time ago. Salt is really bad. pure salt on your skin will fuck you up. When it comes to like meats and beef jerky or anything is made as a preservative, preservatives. I mean, they talk after they conquered. Get to the point they were. I'm talking about Egypt. Get to the point they were getting some of these guys to mummify themselves and bury themselves alive, and then they used whatever that chemical is. I forget, but burying themselves with like maggots or bugs filled in the coffins and cockroaches and shit. Like it gets so bad in fucking Egypt. What they did in Egypt, and then calling everybody slaves. Like the Hebrews, still to this day, they have, you know, I'm not sure if you're heavily involved in a religious group that practices Hebrewism. He calls themselves Hebrews and goes through a religious like their routine that they do is almost as strict and controlled as the Jewish religion, as the Orthodox Jews. Did it to the Hebrews in Egypt, did it to the Jews in Jerusalem. I want to do it to everybody. I've talked about this on my Facebook. It's on my Facebook. Go to my Facebook. Spend a couple months or a few days if you don't have to, if you have a weekend off. Go to my Facebook. Fucking read. I already fucking wrote it all. I already made the videos for all you motherfuckers. Go to my fucking Facebook. Who am I? Fuck you. I have fuck you money. I got money for the rest of my life. I got money for my wife. I got medical insurance. And they can't do a goddamn thing about it. Can't shut me up. Doesn't matter what legislation they wrote about if you're still on inactive reserve. No, 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 no. I'm medically retired. I'm 100% disabled through Veterans Affairs, permanent wounded warrior, permanent fucking American Legion. They can't fuck. I'm untouchable. They can't fuck with me. How do they think it was gonna fucking play out? That's why you should get behind me. Because the dirty motherfuckers ruling the world in any country. There's not a goddamn thing they can do to me. I ain't gonna bend the knee to nobody, right? That's another reason.